For our next loft visit, Eric Cannon has very kindly brought me down to Worthing to meet his good friend and that Pau National winner, Jed Jackson of Worthing. This man is an incredible fancier, as he's blind, has won the ultimate race, the Pau National. Thanks very much for inviting me around today to see your birds, Jed, and I must say, I've been wanting to say this for years. Congratulations on your fantastic performance from the Pau National. I know it was a few years ago, but I've always admired that. It's an incredible performance.
Well, it is a long time ago, Keith. It's now, I mean, it was in 1980, but it was most marvellous. You know, the events of that weekend, I will never ever forget. You know, people have said to me, you know, how marvellous that was for you, Jed, to win the Pau National. But you know, when I look back in my meditative moments, I don't remember Pau as the best remembered occasion with pigeons. I go back to my coalhouse days when I had 4 nest boxes in the upper half of our coalhouse. And that's what I remember best about pigeons. Yeah. Although, to win the Pau National, it's a very, very great honour. And,
it's beyond belief. I mean, for a normal fancy, it's beyond belief, Jed, but for you, it was fantastic.
Well, it was, you know, and when I won the Pau National, I was talking to some friends of mine in the Midlands, and they'd been talking, and they said, well, where the hell do we go from here? And our blind man's won the Pau National.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I say, you still love your birds just as much today as you did then. It makes.
Well, yes, yeah. You know, they're these pigeons with me, as well as you possibly know, and everybody else knows, they've been the saving grace of my blind life. Mm. You know, pigeons serve me best as social currency. Yeah. And without the pigeons, I could well find myself in the knacker yard, so to speak. Yeah. They've given purpose to a life. Yeah. And they bring me down that garden path 1,000 times in the day. And that is most important, you know, to have an interest like that, yes. I could have so easily have finished up in the bloody dust bowl of society, but the pigeons, they have been the saving grace of my blind life. This hen, Keith, won me Thurso about 3 or 4 years ago. She is a granddaughter of Janista, which won me the Pau National in 1980. And she is rather a special hen because she spends so much time on my shoulder when I'm in the loft. And she came onto that board on the morning, timed about 7 o'clock. I opened the flap, and she came straight onto my shoulder. She didn't go into a nest box, and I just picked her off my shoulder and timed her. She's a lovely hen.
So she's very nice
temperament she's got too.
That's a nice looking pigeon, that one, Jed.
It's a very nice bird, Keith, and of course it goes back to Janista, a lovely pigeon to handle, so gentle, lovely temperament. He's flown Pau 4 times, Thurso 3 times, and he has been twice second at Thurso. And like most of my birds, he's so gentle, so quiet.
That's it, Jed. You fly North Road and South Road?
North Road and South Road.
The same pigeons, you know?
I turn them round and they say that you can't, but you know, when I won the Pau National, Keith, with Janista, I sent her to Berwick and turned around. She had 5 weeks rest between Berwick and Pau, and she came along and she won the Pau National.
Well, that's proof then, is it, Jed?
And the following year, we had 2 Berwicks in our federation programme, and I had several calls from fanciers asking me which Berwick I was going to send my Pau pigeons to. Yeah. I said, I'm not going to send them to either. They said, but you did last year. You recorded in the book of saying that you said. I said, yes, I did. But I said, if I thought she was going to win the Pau National, I wouldn't let her out of the bloody loft. Never mind, send her to Berwick.
This is a scene inside Jed's old bird section. Do you fly only natural, Jed?
I fly only natural. I find it's most suitable to me. I've had them come down here and suggest to me, Jed, it would be ideal for you and to fly this widowwood system. He said, they knock you, there's another one gone through. They say they knock you over when they come to the loft. Well, Well, I've always thought the most important thing about pigeon racing is getting them there first before you trap them, and I have no problems, and it suits me, and I'm too old to change, and I won't change. And from what I've heard from the lads who do it and talk about it, it wouldn't interest me in the least.
How many old bird pairs you keep in, Jed?
Well, I never go more than about 18 pairs, and that is sufficient for me. I can manage 18 pairs, and I know them all. I can tell them all by the skeletal structure, every one of them. And there's nothing particularly clever about that. Any blind person would be able to do that if they were sufficiently interested in that side in the sport. But it's just something, you know. What I could see in my sighted days, my fingertips tell me today. They are my sight today, the fingertips. And I don't really miss too much. I can tell you the moment I come into this loft, if there's a stray pigeon in here, no problem at all.
When do you pair your pigeons up?
I pair them up. I never pair them up till about the middle of March. I don't touch them before.
Are you mostly interested in longer races in, Jed?
Just the longer races, that's what interests me, you know. I don't understand all this business now with all these shorter distance races, but it doesn't appeal to me, you know. John Langston, who won the Pau National, he was a great friend of mine. We corresponded regularly, you know, and he believed, as I do too, that use for pigeon racing doesn't start until you get to 250 miles, but no, it's the longest.
Well, Jed, I'd like to hear about your national winner, Ginista, from Pau, which was, I'll say again, it was a fantastic performance.
Well, thank you, Keith, for those kind words. But, you know, it was absolutely marvellous for me to win the Pau National, you know. And although it's such a significant performance, it's not what I remember best about pigeons when I look back in my meditative moments in the solitude of my lounge. I tell you what I remember best about pigeons. My coal house days in the north of England when I had 4 nest boxes in the upper part of my coal house. And I used to service these pigeons in coal dust, ankle deep in coal dust. And then I won the Pau National, and I was ankle deep in stardust. It was absolutely marvellous. And on the day that she came, there were 2 fanciers sitting up there on the patio with me, and they said, "There's a pigeon coming up from the sea, Jed." I said, "Well, watch it." And it came, it landed on the board, and we timed it. And you know, one of the things I miss about pigeons now, and I remember it, is to see a pigeon from 300 or 400 feet shut its wings and stoop to the loft, spilling air as it comes. That's a, and if the good Lord in his omniference was to grant me 3 minutes of sight, I think it would have to be a pigeon plummeting for its board home after a 14 or 15 hour flight. It's a marvellous thing to see. But now, although I can't appreciate that today, whenever a pigeon lands on that board today, and I hear the flurry of beating wings, it sets the adrenaline flowing, and it excites me just the same. Dries up all the bloody saliva in my mouth, and I have nothing to say.